Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Taurus and Scorpio on Tuesdays. And for those of you guys who are interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Ludy Lescott Tarot. I believe that's how it's pronounced, but the spelling of that is L-U-D-Y-L-E-S-C-O-T. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description. And then just as a last little reminder, sometimes the cards will flip over in the deck. I usually don't take them unless they jump out of the deck. And I'm going to try to pull as close to 8 cards as possible. Sometimes there's extra jumpers. Sometimes there's large groups like this that come out. Usually I don't take them, but sometimes I will. Just depends on how the energy is feeling. And with that, I'm just going to shuffle until we have 8 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. Alright, you guys. So just as a reminder, if you guys like the reading, leave a like or a comment. I like to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But your overall energy here is the Four of Pentacles. Oh man, let me just put these in a way that's a little bit more centered. But your overall energy is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles tells me that you guys right now are in a state of mind where you're very closed off. Usually when I see the Four of Pentacles, it talks about stinginess, right? And I don't think that it's so much money. I feel like for some of you it might be money. I feel like money might be tight. But I don't think it's you guys being stingy with money, right? So like money might be tight, but that's not what it feels like. It feels like you guys are being stingy almost in an emotional sense. Like you're not being very open and you're not being very honest with other people about how you feel. And I feel like that's causing some turbulence in your personal relationships right now. I feel like some people might be asking a lot of you in the sense of they need to know how you feel and why you feel and who you feel for, and they need to know all that information right now. And it's very pressing to them, and I feel like as a result, that just kind of pushes you further and further away. I don't see the Hermit card, but whenever I see the Four of Pentacles, it feels very Hermit to me. It feels like closed off and not giving your resources. Right, think it's a very Scrooge kind of energy. And then you have, in your reading, the Five of Pentacles as well, which going from the 4 to the 5, you can see that, oh, and you have the Three of Pentacles as well. So you have the 3, 4, and 5, and that leads me to believe that you guys are going to see a lot of progression here soon. I think that for a lot of you guys, you might be in relationships or sort of situationships where you're talking to someone and it feels like there's not a whole lot of movement going on right now, but once you start getting into this energy and things start sort of picking up and you get into the swing of things, things are going to be a lot more fluid. You're going to see a lot more movement. So what I meant to say just now was you're going to see a lot more movement. And I don't know if the video picked it up very well, but it almost sounded like I said a love more movement, like the word love, L-U-V-E. So I think that for some of you guys, you might be seeing some of these Freudian slips, either you or whoever you're dealing with. I feel like now is a good time to be very open and honest about these things, about how you feel. And I feel like it might be a little bit difficult. But looking at your reading more so, it's very interesting because I'm looking at this Page of Wands here, right? This Page of Wands usually comes forward with a message, and he's knocking on a door, and there's a person here, and it's only their hand that's coming out to sort of reach, right? And then you have the Four of Pentacles here, and then the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles talks about being left out in the cold. So it's almost like you're very closed off, and this door is sort of a metaphorical wall that you've put between you and your person. And it almost feels like they may have come forward to you, and you were in a sort of closed off way. And I feel like intentionally or not intentionally, you may have hurt their feelings, and you may have let them be left out in the cold with this Five of Pentacles. But I feel like they really do admire you a lot, because you have this Empress card here. And I'm looking at this Empress, and her breasts almost look like they're going to spill out of her dress, right? So I feel like this person might be very attracted to your breasts if you're female. And even if you're male, I feel like they may be very attracted to your chest. They may be super into like your pecs or whatever. Or maybe just if you're on the chubbier side, like whatever. I think they just really like looking at you, laying on your chest or whatever. I feel like this person might want to cuddle, but like the idea is that they see you and they see royalty. For a lot of you guys, you might have Leo in your chart, or maybe you're dealing with a Leo. But I'm sorry, my throat is getting a little itchy right now, so I almost feel like this person is having a lot of difficulty speaking about you or their feelings for you, and it might be also the way you feel as well. I feel like there's a lot of blockage in communication right now. Sorry, but the Empress is the Queen of Queens, so I think they think that you're royalty, that you're amazing. I don't see any other queen here, so I don't see any other kind of competition whatsoever, and even if they were here, it's not like they would be competition, but I just feel like this person feels like they're not good enough for you, and maybe some of your actions, either directly or indirectly, made them feel like you weren't exactly open or receptive to them, because the Five of Pentacles is here. So it's almost as if they feel left out in the cold, like they can't approach you. And there's also this Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords talks about being tied up and unable to move, right? Unable to take action. And I'm looking at this, and what's very interesting about this particular interpretation of the Eight of Swords is that this woman is naked. This is one of the only cards that I've ever seen have sort of that element of the interpretation, so it almost feels like it may be even super sexual in that regard. I'm getting like some of you guys might be into bondage or whatever, but that's just extra confirmation for you guys. It doesn't necessarily have to be a thing, but I'm definitely getting that there's like a lot of sexual tension between you guys. This might actually be a situation or a connection that started off with just sex, or maybe like more casual, and they want to sort of move forward but can't because of that. And I'm definitely getting this energy of wanting to move forward with this Lovers card here. This Lovers card, the card of Gemini is what I'm trying to tell you. The sixth major arcana. Also, directly above the Lovers card is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles talks about wanting to work together, wanting to square away a situation, right? And it's very interesting because usually depictions of the Three of Pentacles will have three different people working on a project. But this person is working on one project alone. And it's a depiction of three people working on a project, or three people sort of gathering. That to me is very interesting. It almost feels like this person wants to move forward with you, but they don't want to tell you. It's almost like they're working on themselves before they come forward to you. So if there's been a lot of stagnancy, or I guess stagnation is the correct word, again, like I was saying earlier, this person might have a very difficult time expressing how they feel. They may not be the best with words. They may be sort of like the strong stoic type for some of you guys, or I'm getting that for some of you, they may talk too much. They may be a nervous talker, but there's definitely some kind of blockage in communication here. Like, they just want to express something so visceral, so like primal, and I feel like it just gets lost in translation for a lot of you guys. Like, communication here is very, very interesting for sure, especially with this King of Swords, because the King of Swords is very smart, intelligent, and able to use his words. Sometimes he's a little bit too sharp with his words, right? And you know, the King of Swords doesn't necessarily, he's a little bit on the colder side, but he doesn't necessarily have to be the opposite of benevolent or benign. He doesn't have to be sort of have any malintent behind his words. See, another instance of me not being able to think of the word that I want to use, I feel like this is just a common theme with you guys. But like, this king is very upset, so it almost feels like they're trying to find the words and they can't, and that just like makes them upset and makes them not want to come forward, but they want to come forward to you. And I feel like they just want to come forward, right? See, like, there I go again, just repeating the same words. I feel like that's another conversation that you've had. Like, they say the same thing over and over and over again, and it's like, why are you repeating yourself? And it's like, well, I don't know how else to say what I want to say. But I think that what they want with you is this Ten of Pentacles, right? The Ten of Pentacles for me is the happy wife, happy life card. That's what I like to call it. So I feel like they want a happy family with you. And I feel like they fantasize about this scenario where they sort of win the lottery and then they become millionaires, and then they're like, hey, I bought us a car, I bought us a home, I have all the best schools for our kids. And you're like, whoa, hold on. When did all this happen? Explain it to me. And they're like, I can't. But I think that overall, you guys need to be honest and upfront with your emotions if you intend to make this work with this person. They see you as the maximum, and I feel like you have high regards of them too. It just depends on what your intentions are. And I feel like you should be clear with your intentions, and if you have to practice what you're going to say, I highly recommend doing that, because I feel like there's a lot of weird communication going on here, a lot of miscommunication also. But that was your reading for this time around, Taurus. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment. It really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Taurus videos on Tuesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.